One time my boyfriend came over and we decided to do the dirty. Anyways, it was great, but his phone was in his pocket when he did it and he accidentally somehow but dialed 911. We were getting down and dirty and everything was going swell until we heard knocks on the door very aggressively. We thought it was the dog making noise outside the door until we heard a man yelling to open the door. We both got dressed really fast, went outside, and saw it was the police. I was scared because I thought they found out that I stole a bathing suit from Target, so I started sobbing. Then they asked what was wrong and I couldn't stop crying, so my boyfriend asked why they were here, and they explained they got a 911 call and heard yelling on the phone. I immediately stopped crying and ran inside the house of embarrassment, and my boyfriend just said everything was fine, then closed the door. Right after he closed the door he heard laughing from the police, and now we know that they found out we were having sex. This one time when I was little I thought I could talk to trees. Because I had no friends. And I used to sit by them and say things, and one day I was talking to my tree friend called Kevin, and this girl went up to me and said, "Are you talking to that tree, freak?" And I started crying and hugged onto the tree. And while she was laughing, one of the branches fell on the girl's head. Thanks, Kevin. In middle school the popular kids went through this really fucking weird but kind of funny phase where they would scream so loud when they had to sneeze. This one girl was so loud, oh my god, she'd literally straight up scream before she sneezed. Like instead of the ah-ah-chew it'd be like a chew. In 10th grade during lunch the mean popular girl started to walk up to me and my friends and grabbed my muffin and threw it in my face to impress the new kid. I went off on that dumb bitch because I wanted to eat the motherfucking muffin. I dragged that bitch across the lunchroom and we fought and I accidentally broke her nose. Haha, dumb bitch, that's what you get for wasting my fucking muffin. And I dated the new kid, so who's the bad bitch now? Brittany. Period. Sis, go off. I have a friend who I've known since I was very little. One day, when he was 6, I was at his house when he got this absolutely god-awful stomach pain. I mean, he was literally writhing in pain. So, his mom took him to the doctor's office, where the doctor took one look and told her to take him to the ER. She feared something along the lines of an intestinal rupture. About halfway to the hospital, my friend suddenly let rip the loudest, most powerful fart any of us had ever heard. I swear to God he levitated. We thought the upholstery in the car seat had ripped. After a good 30 seconds of intense farting, he looked at his mom and said, "I feel all better now." When I was 17 I became friends with this girl from an Instagram comment section. She basically became my best friend since I have no friends in real life. LMAO, how sad. Anyways, we exchanged Snapchats and phone numbers and we video called and sent pictures and videos, so I thought she was legit. After a year of talking we decided to finally meet at a concert in secret, and she made me promise not to tell any adults where I was going. I was waiting for her when this old but kinda hot guy came up to me who knew my name. I was like, "Bitch, who the fuck are you?" "I am here to meet my friend," and he named my friend, and I was like, "What the fuck have you done to her?" And he was like, "That's my niece," and I was like, "Oh okay, I guess she brought her uncle," despite making me promise not to tell any adults. So I was like, "Where is she?" And he was like, "She's not coming," and I was like, "What do you mean she's not?" One day I asked how babies were made and my mother said that it just happens to lucky people out of God's choice. So 7-year-old me asked what if I don't want the baby, and she said I had to keep it. So then I searched up on Google how to kill a baby inside of me at home because I was scared that God picked me and my parents had to talk to the FBI on why their 7-year-old daughter is pregnant and killing her kid at home. So when I was in 7th grade, I used to make fake Instagram profiles of the bitches I hated the most and say it was their spam account. Then I would DM their friend's boyfriend and say I forgot the password to my main account. Then I would get the password, hack their account, and expose their DMs. Chile, don't make me mad or I'm gonna get revenge. Smirking cat face. I had a boyfriend back in junior year, but I was close with his friends before I dated him. When we were dating I had his friend in one of my classes and he was so sweet and funny but never went further because he respected our relationship. Then my boyfriend and I broke up and I was so upset. I told him about it and he said he was here for me. Over the past few months the more I talked with him the more I realized I liked him, but I wasn't sure if he would like me back. One day I opened up to him about my depression and anxiety and he was so kind and understanding about it, unlike how my ex was. He works at a boba shop and he asked if I wanted boba. I said yes jokingly, but surprisingly he asks for my address and shows up around 11:30 at night since he closes. I had to sneak out to the front, but it was worth it. The moment I saw him with my boba and when he said I'm always here for you and you can talk to me about anything, I knew I made the wrong choice in dating my ex when he was there all along. I am still currently falling for him and he doesn't know how I feel, but I know for a fact I don't want to lose him. Okay, so one time I was at work and my boss came in my office and he asked me was I single. I said why. He said just a curious question. I said I'm okay, but yes I am. Ever since then he continued to ask me out on movie nights and all my favorite places. Mind you, IDK how he knows all these things. Most of my coworkers I had lunch with was complaining about him also. And he just kept asking. Next day I went to work. He kept insisting that I give him a hug every day in the morning before clocking in and heading to my office. Until he thought it was okay to touch my ass and I punched him in the chin and proceeded to my office. After work that day I decided to go and talk to the police about it. The next day I came into work and while I was on the way in, the police, with my boss in handcuffs, was on the way out. Comes to find out that was my boss's twin brother. He was arrested before for sexual assault and he killed my boss, and have been acting like him for a few months.
I went to the hospital with my entire family because my grandma was dying of cancer. I was crying really hard. And my grandma said to me, "Don't worry baby, I'm going to a better place." I slapped the hell out of her, and told her to stay. She died.
Okay, so this story is in 6th grade. There was this very skinny boy who probably most likely came from a very bad home, but no one liked him because he always got in trouble and was crazy ASF. Everyone said that he was probably gonna kill people when he was older. I always had a decent relationship with him though, except for the time he jumped on my back and tackled me and tried to fight. But other than that we were good buddies. I was nice to him and we always say at lunch together. I started to think he had a crush on me because he would always buy me a shit ton of cookies from the vending machine and give them all to me. Anyways, he started to think I was like his super best friend, I guess, because one day at lunch he told me that he had a knife in his backpack. I didn't think anything of it and I told him I didn't believe him. He said that he would show me in social studies. He was the only kid that got to bring his backpack into regular classes because he went to some special classes. He showed me in social studies the knife that he had slipped between 2 books. I got really scared. He told me if I told anyone that he would stab me and kill me. So I didn't say anything. He ended up not coming back from school because he told another girl and she told, and he was planning on killing a girl that he didn't like. One time I was at the store with my sister and while we were getting our cart we saw a boy staring at me. I didn't really know why, but my sister was laughing and told me to go get his number, so I did. When we were leaving the store I saw him again, and once we got in the parking lot he started running after us. He had a pocket knife and was holding it up while running at us. We finally got to the car and I was screaming and I barely shut the door in time. My sister ran over his foot while driving off. Okay, wait, this is actually a scary one. When I was 10 I would go on an app called Chatroom that matched you with people nearby. I ended up talking to a guy who I thought was my age. I was literally the dumbest fucking kid possible and I didn't think twice about giving this random fucking stranger my address when he asked me for it. He stopped texting, so I went to bed. But the next day after school I got a slip that said I was going to be picked up by my dad. But I literally never met my goddamn dad, so I was confused. I went out to the parking lot and this guy came up to me and said he was my dad, and I looked this motherfucker right in the face and believed him with no proof. I hopped my happy ass into his car thinking I was going to have a fun day with him. My mom came to pick me up like normal and spotted my fat ass quickly. He got out of there so quick I still didn't realize what was happening. My mom called me on my phone and was like, "Where the fuck are you?" And I was like, "What do you mean I'm with my dad?" And he started screaming at me saying we were going to surprise my mom, so I hung up. He drove 2 hours from my school before they called. One time I had this boy that I liked over at my house to watch the Emoji movie as a joke for our first date. We were eating lunch and sitting in two separate chairs. We were having a really nice time making fun of this awful movie and finally got to the end of it where all of the emojis are having a dance party in the club together and doing the godforsaken emoji pop. Then the guy I'm watching the movie with tells me to look at the elephant emoji in the back of the scene doing the dance with his ears. And I laughed so hard looking at how stupid it was, that I pissed my pants. I didn't want to explain the fact that I peed my pants to this guy, so I had to ask my crush to go downstairs with no explanation while I cleaned up the chair I was sitting in and changed my pants. So he stayed downstairs by himself for like half an hour as I washed away my shame. A few months later when we started dating, I told him I pissed my pants on our first date, and he said he knew all along, but that he didn't want to embarrass me for pissing my pants laughing at the fucking Emoji movie.